It's the little chainsaw that could from 1980. So this is all runoff, and there's a lot of activity that happens down here. Today was a rough one. Snow outside. It's freezing. It's like...
Join us today as we navigate through sunshine and through the snow.
All right, so this is what I was talking about. I have basically the RV on drawing whatever amperage, but I keep my charge controller floating at 55 roughly, and you can see the split 3.41 to 3.44, and I have 281 amp hours in here. So, and I'm like, right now I'm drawing 1 amp, but it's just floating it in this area. So, you know, basically there it is. It's back to 0. So it's just maintaining at this point, and as I draw more current, or if this draws down, then obviously it's going to boost current because I still have sun on the solar panels at this point. So that's essentially how I have it configured at this point, and kind of how I was trying to describe it. Okay, I went ahead and cut this up into firewood size, and I cut the main tree stump that I pulled out of the middle there. And you can see about how far I was cutting. And then I used a chainsaw in a couple areas over here. It's the little chainsaw that could from 1980. It's a little baby, but it's cutting up this big tree. So I basically just did a full tank of gas right now and cut up as much as I could. I cut up some stuff back there as well, some of the smaller stuff. So hopefully I can pull this gigantic mess out and start to cut it. So I think that's all I'm going to do today. I might stack it up, but we'll see.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
All right, I didn't film it, but I took the glove box and all the trim out of here, and I'm basically troubleshooting. I believe that the air circ valve back in there is the issue, and there's an actuator up on top. So I wasn't gonna get this deep into it, but this is where I'm at now. All right, this thing's a royal pain. I had to take this thing out. To get it out, I had to take the ECU out. I had to take that bracket out and get back in there. When I was unplugging or getting ready to undo the ECU, try to deal with the battery. The battery's tucked way up behind the firewall. So this car sucks to work on. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I had to use this camera just to be able to get back in there and see where the screw was, because it was blind up against the firewall. All right, I'm testing it now before I put it all the way back in. Press that button, and you can see that was the issue. All right, this is literally how I have to do this. So right there is where the bolt is, and I'm fishing that up in there, and then I need to use this blind to try to find that hole. Alright, I haven't narrated, but I'm basically changing out this actuator right here. And I had to take the whole dash apart and the airbag assembly and everything to get back up in there. So, again, not an easy job underneath the dash here. But I got it out and I got to get the new one back in. It's a beautiful day up here, and I'm gonna go ahead and take our water distiller down to the hose from the well. I'm gonna fire up the well circuit right now, and I'm gonna distill the first drinking water from the well. Looks like it's drawing about 200 watts. It looks like my charge controller is trying to compensate for it right now, but alright, so there's a lot of footage, I guess, of the property, which is up that way, but I'm exploring down in the ravine here, which going the opposite direction of the camera is where the pond is. And so this is all runoff, and there's a lot of activity that happens down here. And I'm just exploring it. Everything that way I've explored before. So now I'm gonna do this way as far as I can. Alright, this is a pretty tough spot here. Everything's way over my head, so I gotta figure out how to get through this. Alright, well, just on the other side of that obstacle was the street. So this is the little waterfall area, so this is pretty much as far as I'm gonna go. Alright, I just backed up the driveway. It's a pretty gnarly ride up. That's what the property looks like. It's definitely pretty wild up here right now. Alright, the RV looks like it held up pretty well from what I can tell. Got a little water coming in on the ceilings here, but it's all sort of known. That's why we're putting the structure up. Check the bedroom. Bathroom looks okay. Bed looks okay. And I got some water coming in there. So, all right. But I'm gonna walk down the road here. It looked like we had maybe a tree down from our property at the entrance, so I want to go see what that looks like. It's usually pretty quiet up here, but right now all you hear is generators and chainsaws. Just trying to clean up. This is what I cleaned up a couple days ago, but I think we got a little bit of a mess down here at the property entrance. All right, so that guy came down and almost fell in the street. So I think what I might do is get my winch and pull up right here and see if I can yank this thing back off the street a little bit. This is what it looks like from the road. It looks like they definitely trimmed some of the stuff that was out in the street here. So this was definitely down in the street. So I'm gonna see if I can at least pull this back up on the property. Yeah, I think the neighbors also did this here, so that was nice of them.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Today was a rough one. Snow outside. It's freezing. It's like 34 degrees. And I was clearing a tree, but my time lapse didn't come through because the phone fell off the tree into the snow. But that tree right there, I hooked it up to the winch and the chain, and I pulled it back away from the road. And I couldn't winch it all the way over this direction, so I had to get the chainsaw out and start cutting it. And I had to sharpen the chainsaw out in the snow because it wouldn't stop cutting. Then I lost the screw for the chainsaw carburetor cover, so I was holding it on with my thumb. It's kind of dangerous. It was a rough day. I'm soaked, muddy and wet, but I got all this ready. I just talked to the neighbor, and he said he has a guy coming down, so he'll let me know what it's going to cost to bring all this to the dump. But it's a much larger pile than when I started. Gotta get out of four-wheel drive. Yeah, basically this whole area was where the tree was, this clearing. And you can kind of see it back there where I pulled it back to. So all this area was clear.
Learning how to be adaptable when you have a well mapped out plan has proven to be one of the harder lessons along this journey. When we finally get a sunny day and get some work done, Mother Nature smiles and sends us snow. We're lucky to live in such a beautiful area. It's worth learning to swerve with the change. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And join us on Patreon.
I heard that there's a sinkhole in the road.